welcome to the podcast. And my guest right now is a very good friend of mine and a very good friend of the whole MLBB community. And she was the trilingual queen of MPL. And of course, that's Rose. How are you doing?
I am good. Jakarta is amazing.
Is it really? How many times have you been in Jakarta?
I've been in Jakarta, I think 4 to 5 times already. All of it
Oh,
is for work.
all for work.
Yes.
Okay, so yep, that's pretty amazing. So far in M7, you are hosting again, right? So,
Yes.
and more interviews also.
Mhm.
Do you think your trilingual prowess, right? skill is also useful in Bahasa Indo? Is that actually pretty similar?
I think it's pretty similar.
Mm-hmm.
There are some times, okay, I think it's easier to translate Bahasa Indo than for me to actually translate English to Bahasa Indo. Now, the reason is because when I speak in Malay or I try to speak in Bahasa Indo, my Malay accent is quite thick. And
Mm-hmm.
a lot of the things are pronounced differently in Bahasa Indo. So
But the
like in
same spelling,
yeah,
different
sometimes it's the
pronunciation.
same spelling but just different pronunciation. For example, we could take Onyx interview as the best example for this. My first interview with Kyrie and Skylar,
Mm-hmm.
Skylar didn't understand my Bahasa Malay or Bahasa
Ah.
Indo, although most players would actually understand. But for the last interview of Onyx, when they got the last knockout
Mm-hmm.
tickets, I got to translate the interview to
It's Team
English.
Evil.
Yes.
There you go. So it's more like some accent adjustment only.
Accent adjustments and some word just have different meanings.
Oh, but okay. But not so far from the actual meaning.
Okay, best
Okay,
example.
best example.
Budak in Bahasa Melayu is a child, Budak. But in Bahasa Indo, it's a slave.
Well, okay, well, that's so you wait. Can you say Buddha in the broadcast?
I think it's
Probably
fine
not.
because it literally means that.
Okay, like
Yeah.
direct translation.
Yeah, direct translation. Cynthia was
That's
telling me
scary.
about this. Yeah. And
That's
like
scary.
senang in Bahasa Melayu, it means easy. But in Bahasa Indo, it means like happy or like contented.
Oh, and I think you have a different word for sarap as well, right?
In
Big
Malay, sarapan is breakfast.
sarapan. I mean, like,
Yes.
sorry, you say enak here. They say
In Malay.
sedap in
Actually, enak is the proper way to say it even in Malay, if I'm not mistaken. It's like
ah.
the root word.
Okay.
Yeah, from the ancient times.
By the way, cheers to Baroka enjoyers out there. There is a some sort of a pandemic going on in the talent room, and we're trying to prevent it. I think I'm next. I think I'm next. I can really feel it.
Yeah,
I
I
hope you're
feel it
not. I hope
too.
you're not.
I
feeling-
woke up this morning and I'm like, oh no, my
Oh
throat
no.
feels it. I
Oh
feel
no.
it. You know when you wake up and like you're not feeling well, your throat feels. It doesn't hurt, but it's like weird. It's like
That's exactly what I'm
and
feeling
then
right now.
my limbs just kind of hurt to touch sometime. I'm like,
Hey, that's
hey,
scary.
oh no,
All right.
oh
So
no.
drink your vitamins.
I did.
Okay, so the last time that I actually made content with you, I had to scrap it, unfortunately, because of bad recording. But I kind of want to talk about what we talked about back then, which is I really feel like it's interesting because some people might find it funny, but yeah, you are the trilingual queen. So you speak English, Tagalog, as well as Bahasa Malay. By extension, you're almost like a quadring
Quadlingual.
quadlingual queen because of Bahasa Indo. So the question is, what language does the voice in your head speak?
Fun fact, after we did that content, right?
Yeah.
There was a comment similar to your question on my
Okay.
TikTok and I just started laughing.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, the video did not come out. If I'm not
Yeah.
mistaken, I told you that the language I speak in my
Yeah,
head,
in your
the
head.
voices in
The
my
voice in your head.
they speak in English.
Okay. All right. So there. So I wonder, like, when you were born, when you were raised, like, what was the general language in your household?
So when I was growing up, the general language in the household was definitely English.
Okay.
I learned to speak Tagalog according to my mom. It was when I was around 3. That when I was like starting to ask how to say this in Tagalog and all this kind of stuff.
3 years old. You're
Yeah.
pretty smart.
It's because I hear it a lot and I don't understand what it means. So, you're a kid, you're curious. You're like, oh,
You hear
what's
it
this?
from
My mom. Because my mom talks to her friends. She would have her nieces coming to visit us and whatnot. So I think that's when I got curious. I would ask them, oh, what's this? What's
Yeah.
that? And then I eventually picked it up. My mom never really taught me to speak Tagalog. I think I really just picked it up from hearing conversations.
Oh.
Yes. Then I started speaking Tagalog like kind of fluently by the time I was 5, 6, according to my mom. And then
But you're also like speaking in English along the way.
yeah, because my dad speaks to me in English.
Okay.
So and I go to school, everybody speaks in English. Yeah. I learned Malay just like 8 years ago.
8 years ago.
Yes.
Okay, so your mom is a Filipina.
Yes.
Your dad is
Singaporean Chinese.
Singaporean Chinese. But you are wait.
I know it gets
This is
confusing.
confusing. You are you Malaysian actually? Are you actually Malaysian?
No, unfortunately.
Okay.
Okay, so it's like,
Like-
this. It's like this. Let me draw it
Alright,
out for you
alright,
first on the
alright,
map.
alright.
Okay, I grew up in JB, which
And
is
JB
a
is
state.
Malaysia.
Yes, a state in Malaysia, which is right beside the Singapore border.
Mm.
Yes.
This is the part of Malaysia where you can drive for just a few hours and you're
no, a
already
few minutes. It's like
Few
5
minutes.
minutes. You're in Singapore.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay.
Now the reason being is because first of all, Singapore is obviously expensive. And
Yeah.
the level of the standards of studying is very stressful. So growing up, my dad told my mom that he doesn't want us to study there. He don't want us to feel pressured with our studies.
Oh.
So
I see.
since it's just right beside,
That's
he was
smart.
like, okay, send them to an international school in JB. Same level of studies, but not the same amount of pressure.
Okay. That's smart. That's smart.
Yes, because it's just right beside. So what would happen is every Monday morning, I'd wake up like super duper early. Dad would drive me in to JB because we have 2 houses, Singapore and JB. Drive me into JB, send me to school, and then Friday after school, he'd pick me up and then go back to Singapore for
Okay.
all the weekend stuff that we do.
I see. So you're practically just in Malaysia for study, but you are Singaporean raised or something like that.
I'd really like to say both.
Okay. All right. So because I mean you spend so much time in Malaysia and most of your classmates probably are based in Malaysia.
Yeah, most of my classmates were definitely Malaysian.
Yeah. So
Just different types of Malaysian.
Singaporean. So what?
I know.
So what's your citizenship?
Philippines, because I was born there.
Man, you
Yes, because when
what you picked the worst.
I couldn't pick the spawn point, okay?
Oh my god.
It was because when my mom got pregnant with me, first of all, when my mom was trying to conceive for me, it was very hard because she had an ectopic pregnancy before me, like few years ago.
I don't know what that is. Sorry.
It means pregnancy outside of the womb. Yes, that is very much possible.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, so
All right.
the baby will not come to full terms, and you have to get it out. Otherwise, it will kill you. It will start to poison you because the baby's slowly dying because it can't survive outside of the womb, right? So after that, getting pregnant is really difficult. So she tried for years, and then she started going to a doctor in Singapore. And after I was conceived, the doctor suggested like complete bed rest because it was a very delicate pregnancy.
Complete
she-
bed rest for the entire.
Yes, because otherwise she would bleed even if she walks just a little bit. So she moved back to the Philippines so that she could be
rest.
with her family and that her, my grandma and everything could help aid the pregnancy. And then I was
Okay.
born there.
And by law, I think so. By law, you should be Filipino or something like that.
Yeah, I guess.
Wow, man.
I know,
What-
right?
Is your I don't know if this is okay to include in the podcast, but is your passport at least like Malaysian or
You
Singapore?
can't. It's definitely a Filipino
Man,
passport.
it's so difficult.
The good thing is, my dad is Singaporean, so applying for visas and everything is actually not that tough because you have visas
Okay,
in Malaysia and
fair.
Singapore. So that part is totally covered. It's really not that
And
hard.
I'm sure you figured it out, but yeah. Okay, so Rosie's a Filipina. That's what we can say. But most of your time is spent in Singapore and Malaysia. You never really stayed in the Philippines?
No, because
Okay.
when I was born, my mom moved me back to Singapore before my first birthday.
Mm-hmm.
So
Okay, okay.
grew up there ever
So
since.
okay, so your most of your friends are like Malaysian and Singaporeans as well.
Definitely. You've
Yeah.
met one of my friends
Oh
back
yeah.
in KL.
Yeah.
He's here too.
Is he actually?
Yeah, we just hung out with him just
Oh
now.
man, I gotta contact him. But anyways, yeah. You you grew up speaking in English and Filipino, and then you just learned Malay 8 years ago. So that's like you were like probably what 14, 13, something
Plus,
like that.
plus,
Or
somewhere
something
there,
like
yeah.
somewhere along those lines. My question here is like is Malaysian language like easier to learn compared to the Philippines? Because I would like to think so, especially because of our grammar. And I would say that you can fluently talk in Filipino in Tagalog, which is crazy because most of the people who try to learn Tagalog find it so difficult if you didn't grow up in the Philippines. But you said that you started when you were young, probably watching telenovelas,
Probably,
maybe.
my mom with her TFC subscription in
Yeah,
Singapore.
for sure, for sure. Did you have anyone to speak Tagalog to apart from your parents, apart from your
Um,
family?
my mom's friends, kids, but most of them are also white as heck. So they're like, "What are you saying?"
What are you saying, Joseph? What are you saying? Like, but yeah, you also nailed the Filipino accent as well, so that's also important. Maybe because you just hear it all the time, right?
I think it's really something I picked up because when
Yeah.
I mentioned that I learned how to speak Malay just 8 years ago, it's because when I was a kid, I
Mm-hmm.
studied in school. First language in school is obviously English because it's
Mm-hmm.
an international school, right? But we do have the Malay subject because it's
Okay. Mm-hmm.
compulsory since we're studying in Malaysia. And oh my God, guys,
You struggled.
I struggled so bad.
Right.
And I have to particularly point this out because international school Malay level is like the bare minimum. And we're talking like 80-word essays when you're in high school.
Bare minimum when it comes to like studying the Malaysian language. I mean,
Like, it's not hard at all. Now, example.
oh, it's okay.
Yeah, it's super easy. Like, they would teach you the most basic things, just how to piece sentences together. And like, final exam, imagine
Yeah.
80-word essay.
80 words, like what, two paragraphs? Or
Yeah.
three?
And I would still fail.
So I mean, for someone like at that age, like 13 years old, you only knew Tagalog as well as English. I'm pretty sure that learning a third language is so difficult for someone.
I don't think
so
I was
young.
13. I think I was older.
I was older.
Yeah, I was definitely older, I think.
Yeah. So it's crazy. So you would just like speak to them in English, like everyone around you.
Yeah, because in school we weren't allowed to speak like the third language.
third
I
language.
mean, sorry, a second language. They want to
Okay.
keep it very English centric.
Oh, I see.
Except
so,
for your
So are you the Conyos of Malaysia? Would you say?
No, because it's very hard to mix Malay and Tagalog and in English. It's not like Tagalog and English where you can like mix it
Yeah.
in the same sentence, diba?
That's
in
right.
Malay, it's like you can only end it with like certain words like kan or la, but it sounds really impossible to mix it together in
I
one
see.
sentence.
I see. I see. I see. And then in Singapore, Singapore is practically English, right? But the
Singapore is
Singlish-
like practically English.
but with a different accent.
Yeah, Singlish.
They call it the Singlish.
Yeah,
right?
they call it the Singlish.
It's actually difficult to follow if you're just if you're not used to it because they probably speak like fast. And
Yeah,
that's what I feel like. Like
They do.
not even like fast. It's more like they're in a rush actually. Because that's different, right? Like they kind of don't want to speak to you anymore. That's what I feel like.
Singaporeans are always in a rush.
Well, that's also very true. Okay. So learning Malay, learning Bahasa Malay eventually became the task that you needed to do. But did you think like it will ever be useful in whatever you're doing right now when you were thinking about it back then?
Actually, I wasn't thinking about it back then
Okay.
because the reason why I learned how to speak Malay was because I started playing MLBB.
Okay.
I didn't learn Malay for school at all because okay, it's
This is crazy.
really like Tagalog, right? You can speak Tagalog casually, but then when you write it down on paper, it's different. How you'd form sentences for school, it's really different.
Okay. I see
The
it.
words you use are also very different because the words you use are like more modernized.
Formal. Yeah, right.
Yeah, and then it's gonna have to be formal.
Okay.
So yeah, even though I was starting to pick up Malay, I was still failing my Malay exams.
Okay, so Okay, so when did you start playing mobile? Wait. Where did this idea of you have to learn Malay because of MLBB?
I think it was like, okay, so MLBB first launched, and one of my mom's close friend's son was in Malaysia. He's a Filipino kid. He was like 8 at that time.
Okay.
And he's really annoying. I'm just gonna say it out there.
Okay.
CK, if you're watching this, ate, sorry. He one day entered my room and he's bugging me. Ate, download this game. Play with me. And I was like, stop disturbing me. And he's like, sige na ate,
Is this
promise.
okay, yeah. Like
Yeah.
he speaks Tagalog.
Yeah,
like,
Tagalog.
Okay.
He's like, sige na ate. Pag dinownload mo to, maglalaro tayo. Promise, di na kita didistorbohin. Now that, since I said he was annoying, I'm like, oh, that was attractive. That was so attractive. So I downloaded it.
Okay.
And then I played it and I'm like, okay. I played with him and then he went back to the Philippines because summer holiday was over.
Okay.
So then I started to enjoy it.
What year was this?
Like 8 years ago. So ML
Also at
was
the start.
relatively new. It was like season 3 of
Okay.
MLBB. Not even MPL, it was MLBB.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, this is relatively fun.
Yeah.
Right? I played it for quite a while and then I stopped. And then a few months after that, I decided, what if I play this game and kind of stream it?
Okay.
Because I want to make friends. I want people to play with me.
Okay.
I don't want to play alone. It's boring.
Yeah. So wait, sorry. Were you already a gamer when?
No.
Okay, so this was like one of your first
Yeah,
few
yeah.
games.
Yeah,
alright.
because as a kid growing up, I just played like a lot of Sudoku, a lot of Tetris.
Actually, she's playing Sudoku.
I still
I
play
remember
Sudoku until now.
Were you were playing Sudoku when you were waiting
In MPL.
in FPL? Wow. Crazy. All right. Anyway,
So yeah,
streaming.
streaming because I heard about Twitch, but Facebook was obviously the easier option back then, and Facebook gaming hasn't launched in Malaysia at that time, so I didn't know you could get paid. I just wanted to make friends.
Okay.
So that time I didn't even have a computer. I was young. I was just using my phone. You use the what's that? The omelet or something.
Oh
like
yeah,
that.
the omelet
Yeah,
arcade.
like we're legit
What
the OGs.
What a classic.
Yeah.
All right.
So I started streaming, and my first stream I was so happy because like there were like 200 viewers, and then the
Wait.
third day, the third day it hit 5K.
How did it happen?
I don't know. So I was super duper stoked. I'm
This
like,
is Facebook gaming,
Yes.
right?
I was super duper happy. And at that time, I was like, English only, you know? And then people were scolding me in the comments. They were like, oh my God, can you speak Malay? You're in Malaysia. The typical
Okay,
netizen
okay.
comments.
Okay.
So then I'm like, okay, I started picking it up slowly from what I read and asking my friends in game to translate for me.
Of course.
Then that's how my Malay.
And I'm
journey
sure
started.
yeah. Is it also true that when you're starting to learn the Malay words, you probably have learned the bad words first?
Of course, my best friend's Malay. My best friend's Malay.
So the bad word first. The bad words first. That's crazy. Is Facebook gaming at all big in Malaysia when it started?
So when I started streaming, it hasn't launched yet. The month after that, coincidentally, they launched and then I got invited by the agency. So
Immediately.
we were like the first 2 batches, me, Solos, we were in the same batch
Wow.
of Facebook gaming creators.
Solos is like one of the best, one of the known
Pioneers.
celebrities. Yeah,
Yes, he
pioneers,
was
yeah.
one of the pioneers of esports in Malaysia. Then shortly after Facebook gaming launched, it was MPL MY season 1. And I didn't go watch that, but I did went to watch MPL MY season 2. But like just to drop by and see what it was about. My mom came with me to KL because that time I was still staying in JB, so that's like a 3-4 hour away ride. I just wanted to really see the crowd and the environment, and I'm like, oh damn, this is kind of lit.
Yeah, okay. So let's kind of dial down a little bit because you said that you started with Facebook. I'm just surprised because you're probably the first ever anyone that I talked to when they started streaming, like day 1, day 2, they got 200 viewers. It's usually just 10 viewers whatsoever. Lucky if you reach 100. Usually those 10 viewers are like just your friends and they're just like checking it out. Especially back during that time, like streaming in Facebook is usually frowned upon because if you're gaming, if you want to watch someone stream, you go to Twitch. You go to actually just Twitch,
Yes.
not nowhere else. And yeah, Facebook 100, and I know for sure that in Malay they're more of an Instagram country than they are a Facebook country.
Okay, this is one thing that changed a few months after Facebook gaming got launched.
Okay.
I think there was a reason why we managed to peak and then we dropped. Because this was before they implemented a region lock for Facebook gaming.
Oh, I see.
So at that point of time when I started, Facebook gaming didn't exist. So everybody in the world could access your video just randomly. But when Facebook gaming launched, they had to kind of region lock things. Otherwise, the viewership will get out of hand. And well, their money is going to go down really fast.
I see. Because they want to manage like the balance of how much money this region gets.
Yes,
and okay.
of course. Because
Understandable. All right.
creators have different tiers and
That's
all
right.
that. And they get paid based on their viewership
okay.
and all that kind of stuff.
I understand. All right. So before that, you weren't streaming at all. You mentioned you were doing just Omelette Arcade.
Yeah.
And then like you just put your picture out there somewhere.
It's like my little small bubble
Yeah,
camera
yeah,
at the
that's-
side just playing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then they offered me and I'm like,
yeah.
I asked my mom, I'm like, are you sure this is legit? And she's like, nak, scam yan.
Exactly. Exactly. Like I'm sure like the first Facebook deals were ridiculous enough. that
Yes,
you wouldn't believe
definitely.
it.
My mom was like, nak, sinasabi ko sa'yo, scam yan. Pag na-scam ka
Yeah.
ha, wag kang iiyak-iyak. And I'm just like, it's okay, I'll just try. I'm like,
Yeah,
what's
yeah.
the worst that could happen? And then when I got my first paycheck, I'm like, hey mom, I got money. I'm like,
Where you want to eat.
I got money. Then I still remember how much it was. So I gave her like 2.5k ringgit,
How much is that in
around 30,000 pesos.
Oh my god. You were like what, 60 years old?
Somewhere there.
The-
I gave her like 30,000 pesos. And I'm just like, here you go. That's
Yeah.
my salary for 1 month.
Oh
Half of my
my
salary for 1 month.
God.
And she's like, oh, you didn't get scammed?
Oh, that's crazy. And then, but I mean, even after saying that you were about to be scammed or you can be scammed, did she like support you at all?
She doesn't really give a shit. Because my mom is the kind of mom who just supports whatever path we want to take as long as we don't do the big no-nos.
Yeah, like
Get pregnant early.
Yeah.
Drugs, cigarettes, because I have bad lungs,
Uh,
alcohol.
Yeah.
She's very like the do whatever you want as long as you don't really flank your class. I don't flank my class except for
Yeah.
Malay.
Yeah, except for the big boss
Yeah.
of subjects. I wonder what did you take it for? College?
I didn't go college.
Because in Malaysia you can afford to not go to college.
Yeah,
compared to the
so
Philippines.
after my IGCSEs, because international school, right? So in Malaysia, there's actually 2 high school leaving exams. If you study government or private, you will have to take SPM. With this certificate, you can use it to apply for universities. But since I took international school, I did the IGCSE, International GCSE, meaning this paper comes from Cambridge, UK. They would send it over, we'd take the exam, and with the results we get to apply to universities in Malaysia and overseas.
Okay.
After I did my IGCSE, got good results, I told my mom, Mom, I'm not gonna continue studying. I'm making money.
We're streaming. We're streaming.
streaming,
We're
baby.
following the dream. We're following the dream.
mom was like-
So it was it like almost the same timeline as you were studying for that IGCS?
Yeah. It's somewhere around there.
Okay,
I can't
perfect.
really remember, but
That's like
it's-
almost perfect timing.
Yes. I'm like, I'm making money. I'm like, I'm making better than minimum wage. And I'm like, I just got started. And at first she's just like, okay, think it through.
Of course.
And then 1 year
She should.
passed. Then she started bugging me again. Asian
Okay.
moms.
Asian moms.
And at that time, I wanted to enter medicine, because my grades were good.
Okay.
My grades were good. I wanted to do med. And then I thought about it. I'm like, I would have to study X amount of years. I'm already making good money. No, I'm not going to do it. And
Yeah.
then she's like, she was getting annoyed at me in a
course.
sense. But obviously, you just got to give her a little bit more money.
Yeah.
Bring her shopping. Just stop. Rinse and repeat, baby, until we got here.
Oh my god, that's so funny. Shoutouts to Rose's mom.
Yes.
I've heard that she cooks so well and she makes a great leche flan. Apparently,
Who did
Let's
you hear
say-
that from? Lafel or Gideon? Either one.
No, it probably was Coach Dale.
Oh, Coach Dale, yes. Yes,
They
yes,
got a
yes, yes.
chance to
Yes, they
taste
did
the.
get it. They got a chance to try a lot of my mom's cooking
Okay.
because that was my first season of MPL, and my mom was like, "Nak, may mga Pinoy doon." And I'm like, "Yeah." There was one time she sent me to work with 2 eco bags filled with food, and I was limping climbing the stairs.
Oh my god. Oh, the Filipino moms are the
Yes.
best. Oh my god. Very sorry to interrupt, but this podcast, the HG podcast, has been working with TT Racing for over a year now. I've been using their gaming chairs and their ergo chairs and even their desks. There's a lot of accessories as well, but most importantly, the gaming chairs have supported me, this podcast, for many, many episodes now. And they definitely have got my back for the longest time through hours of gaming, hours of podcasting, even when actually practicing with music. It's just an all in one kind of gaming chair that I've been using for a long time now. And the great thing about this is that TT Racing is made for creators, for dreamers like me, and of course, for gamers. And I'm just happy that when I got into the M7 World Championships, which is as of recording happening right now, in Indonesia, they even got my back too. Was able to try their latest line of a gaming chair, which is the TT Racing Max, and I've also tried their Ergo chair, and they're both great. I've been using this gaming chair for the entirety of my stay, for a 1 month stay here in Indonesia, and my guests have also been using their gaming chairs. What I really like about this is how adjustable the armrests are, which kind of makes it so that I can use it like really wide like this, so that I can actually play music, and then I can just easily switch it on when I wanted to game, be it through the Switch, through consoles, through controllers, or with long hours of work. Definitely got my back. So if you also are interested, the TT Racing game chairs are also available here in Indonesia. But for the fans of this podcast in the Philippines, you can enjoy a great discount by using my code TTWolf. That's right. Use my code TTWolf to get the biggest discount in their online websites. All right, just check their website. Go check their chairs out. It's gonna be great. And yeah, back to the podcast. Okay, so you continued on streaming, and I'm assuming this is not like hosting. Probably isn't what you really thought about. Did you ever had the chance to host before you were hosting?
No.
No prior hosting experience.
No prior hosting experience. Because one thing that I'd like to mention, when I was back in school, I would be so afraid to get in front of a lot of people to make speeches or say anything, like even just a thank you, or like prize giving ceremonies where you'd get awards for being best in subjects and everything. I would be shivering.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say I'm introverted, but I also wouldn't say I'm very extroverted.
Okay,
Kind of
so
shocked I got here.
so you're more like a somewhat an extrovert, but you have a stage fright.
I'd like to think so, yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of the same, but only with stuff that I'm not comfortable with. I remember when it's like, because in the Philippines you're almost required to dance, sing, and act no matter what happens, right?
Oh.
You're like, oh well, you probably didn't know, but
I
yeah,
didn't
but
know, so I'm like, oh.
yeah. So in elementary and high school, especially if you take public school, there's always, you can't escape it. Everybody has to go through it. So I'm always shy when it comes to that. But I remember when we had like debates or oration or something like that, that I can easily do. I mean, not easily, but yeah. But reporting, for example, when it comes to reporting uh like lessons, because presentations, that's also okay for me. Thesis defenses, that's also easy for me. But when it comes to like singing or acting or dancing, never mind. I won't do that. I would do my best to avoid that. So were you ever at all like, we call it Bibo? Oh, you probably know what Bibo is.
Yes.
Were you a Bibo kid when you were in high school or in
Now
secondary?
that you mentioned that, I was a part of, because in our school we had like a few clubs, like
For sure.
debate and everything.
Yeah.
I would always get pushed by my teachers to join the public speaking team and the debate team. I was okay with those.
Okay.
Yeah. I think now that you say it like that, as long as I had a game plan in mind,
Yeah.
not put on the spot,
Yeah.
it's fine.
It's fine. If it's not like an actual performance, if it's like more of a display of your
Thinking.
wit or of your
Yeah.
ideas, I think it's better.
Yeah.
So yeah, that happened. Were you at all like doing any kind of newscasting? Because in the Philippines, we also have this journalism extracurricular activities. Even if you don't study actual journalism in your elementary and your high school, you have we call it a press conference, which is a contest for writers for journalists.
We don't have that.
So
I
you
mean, not in my school. At
not in your
least.
school. So you didn't have the chance to like go for newscasting or radio broadcasting.
No.
Because at least we had that. We had radio broadcasting as well as newscasting, and that's where I also excelled. Like my high school and my elementary school I will represent that, and then eventually you represent your school, you represent your district, then your division, and then your region to the national level, or something like
Okay.
that.
No.
So you didn't have any experience with that. Then where did you get all of your confidence as a host? Because in Malaysia, I've been there. It seems to be a crowd that's like scary to face. They're passionate. I love them, but
Yeah.
if
they're
you're
loud.
uninitiated, you're gonna be scared. And I heard that they're also relentless when it comes to the social media. But when you first got into MPL, from outside looking in, it kind of feels like you're already experienced when it comes to hosting.
Fun fact, that interview with Coach Dale, that viral, very
the viral
viral
video.
interview, that was my first time hosting. Like with a crowd, like proper on stage with a crowd. That was my first ever time hosting. When I got invited for MPLMY, they said there was gonna be like a kind of a boot camp for the casters and the talents.
Oh,
So they
that's
gathered
cool.
us. They gathered us. It wasn't really much of a boot camp. They gathered us to stay in like a villa for a night.
Okay.
This thing only happened for one season.
No, that's
Yeah,
more
it
than
was
enough.
cool though. It was very
Uh.
fun. So at that time, the producer Carmen,
Okay.
you know Carmen, do you? In M6.
I wasn't there in
Oh,
M6.
Okay, so she is our producer in MPLMY at that time, and we all love her. But she has this very strong authority in her
Okay.
voice. So when she was introducing herself, I was like, oh my God. And then she was making rounds. Like she was telling us to say something, each and every one of us. Like we had to like express or say something. And I can remember that I was in the middle. So they started on the left and it was going one by one. And
Yeah.
the closer it got to me, the more I hear my heart in my head.
Of course.
I could taste the stomach acid in my
Yeah.
throat and it wasn't even the real thing. And I'm like, oh shit, what do I do? You know, because I'm like, if I can't even talk in front of the producer, how am I going to speak on stage? Then I got familiar with the casters that day. I know some of them already from before, like LaFell, I've bumped into him before a few times, Gideon. But that's when like we all talked a bit more. Then rehearsal came. Rehearsal came in. I didn't know what the hell I was doing. I didn't know what to do. I've never been on stage like that. And
Yeah.
it's even harder because there's somebody speaking to me in my ear.
Oh yeah,
cueing
that
me.
is actually so difficult
Yes.
to do.
And I was really scared I'd mess up the timing.
you did. Oh no.
I was so scared. So we were going through it, and obviously my rehearsal took a long time. It was my first time, you know. And then LaFell was like, okay, let's go through this.
Okay.
LaFell was like going through it with me, going through the script with me at like 11 p.m. at the venue.
It was season 10?
Season 11.
11.
Before
yeah.
it started. So we were going at it. He's like, okay, you need to project your voice. You need to sound powerful on stage.
Okay.
After that, the next day, for some reason, I don't know what it was, I was calm as hell.
Oh,
I didn't feel any jitters.
yeah.
I didn't feel that I was about to throw up. Before
You were
it
in the
started.
zone.
I was in the zone.
Yeah. And when you say this is a crazy story because you said that it's your first time. But what made you get into hosting first? Like before we talk about what the Fel was able to impart to you, I wonder, you were only streaming, you were a fan of Mobile Legends, you did not have any prior experience, not even in school. This is your first hosting gig. Why the hell did you accept, or I don't know, did you audition, whatever? Why did you even think about joining the MPL broadcast team?
Okay, so it was like this. Season 10 of MPL MY, Fikri from Moonton MY, he no longer works in Moonton MY. But at that period of time, he contacted me. He said, "Hey Rose, remember me? We met a few years back at like an event." He's like, "Do you want to come over, watch MPL MY season 10? And at that time, regular season, I was super busy. So I said I couldn't make it. And then before playoffs, he came to me with another invite. And then he said, "Come for the grand finals at the very least. We have a red carpet. It's the first time ever that MPL MY will be having a red carpet walk. And we want you to be a part of it. I want you to be a part of it." And the dress code was dress to impress. Like, go full glam.
Okay.
So I looked around because he's like, wear something nice, like fancy, striking. So I went and got a gown. Like, not really a gown, but like a really nice dress, a long dress.
That
And
catches attention.
I didn't know what it was going to do.
Okay.
When we got there, after the red carpet, he told me like, "I got an offer for you.
Oh.
Would you like to be a host next season?" Then and there, I shut him down.
Of course.
I'm like, "No, I've
haven't.
never hosted before. I don't think I can do this."
Okay.
He's like, "We have around 6 months before the next season begins. Think about it."
Wow.
So I left it at that.
Okay.
I just said, okay, but I didn't really think about it. Then on the February of 2023, I remember this so particularly because it was my birthday week.
Okay.
Yeah, so it was very like memorable.
It's almost 3 years from now.
Yeah. On the 15th of February, because my birthday's on the 16th. So on the 15th of February, I received a message from Serena.
Oh, okay.
He's like, "Hi, we're from Moonton. Fikri sent us your contact. We'd like to get you on for a call tomorrow." I'm like, "Okay, what time?" Because I'm going out to have a birthday
course.
brunch.
Okay.
I already had plans, you know. She's like, "Okay, we'll do like 12 p.m. It'll be quick." So I'm like, "Okay, that's doable."
Okay.
I got on a call and they were discussing what the plans were if I were to enter. If I were to enter as a host, what would be my job scope? What are the expectations? What are the possible backlash from the community? And all that kind of stuff. And I was getting overwhelmed.
Of course.
And I'm like, they were like, "Okay, so if this is going to happen, the media day is going to happen on the 23rd of February. So I'm like, okay. I'm like, I need some time to think about this.
that's 8 days from when you were contacted.
So I'm like, I need some time to think about this. Hung up, went for my birthday brunch. While I was having birthday brunch, one of the Malay casters who I already met in an event before that at the M4 watch party that happened in Malaysia, he messaged me. He's like, "Oh my God, congrats." I'm like, "What? Why are you congratulating me? It's my birthday today." Like, you know.
But you already know this guy before.
I met him at the M4 watch party.
For watch party.
Because we had a watch party in Malaysia.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Right. Yeah. Because they had like a
Yes,
multi-regional
yes,
like watch
exactly.
parties. Yeah, I remember
And then
that.
he's just
Okay.
like, he's like, "What do you mean? What do I mean?" And I'm like, it was Milo. It was a Milo. And I'm like, "Yeah, what do you mean?" He's like, "I saw your name on the media day list." I'm like, "What?"
You decided for me. Oh, what a classic. What a classic, actually.
I'm like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "Yeah, I thought you were the new host." I'm like, I thought I was gonna think about it first.
Do you remember who was the host before you or what they were doing? Because I actually don't.
If I'm not mistaken, Fira Fendi stopped at like season 7 or season 8, and then they
Okay.
got a new host, which is Sleepy Godzilla, like season 8 or season 9. And then for season 10, because all I remember was on season 10 they didn't have a female host. It was the casters rotating on who's hosting, so they were actually actively looking for a host at that time,
Okay.
and I wasn't aware
Fair
of it.
enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then I messaged Serena again. I'm like, "Hey,
What's up?
We're confirmed?" Question mark. She's like, "Yeah, media day is on the 23rd. The rehearsal is XXX. Be there." I'm like, "Oh shoot, what did I get myself into?" And then I did the media day, and then we had the boot camp, right? Then we had the boot camp. During the boot camp, CK or Elson from Moonton Malaysia, he's in charge of the broadcast team. I call him boss now. He's like a dad figure to me.
Okay.
But he reminded me continuously, like, don't check your phone. Don't read the comments. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to screw myself after this job. And then I told him and I told them, let's try it for one season. But if I get hate, that's not my fault. Y'all put me in this position. And please let me go if I want to go after this season. Because I
Makes
really
sense.
didn't know how the community was going to react to a new host, to a new face. And no experience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That must be. That must be. I don't know. I don't even know what word to use, but that is scary to say the least.
It was.
I don't know if anyone would have ever said yes, apart from you, because not. It's one thing to be a stream. I mean, okay, never mind. Now that I think about it, some streamers would randomly accept hosting gigs. But mostly because they have at least tried it before. But for you, it was totally different because you didn't have anything. And I'm sure that during that time, were you what percentage of mastery with with Bahasa Malay are you in already when
At
that
that
happened?
point, my Malay was, I would say it's fluent, but I had the accent because people say that whenever a Chinese would speak Malay, like JJ, for example, you can hear from the voice that he's Chinese.
Okay, okay,
But for me, whenever I'm streaming, people are like, you actually sound local, like you sound Malay.
okay.
So I wasn't worried about the accent. I was worried more about my Malay. But then
The grammar and
it's
all.
scripted. So I just have to follow the script. And they told me like, of course, if there's anything, you can add English words to kind of tame it down or like calm you down. So it's easier to read off the tongue. At that point, obviously my Malay now is so much better.
Yeah,
But at that point, it wasn't that bad.
yeah. It's like maybe 70, 80%.
Yeah, I think it should be around 60 to 70%.
There you go. So we get back to that moment when you said that you were in the zone. So that was probably like day one, right? So did you open the show?
Day one, yes, I opened the show with LaFell. And then he left me. And then he went to go in cast. After that,
Yeah.
like CK told me to do, I did not touch my phone at
Okay.
all except for WhatsApping my mom because she's asking for updates. Until,
Crazy.
and amazingly, that viral interview with Coach
Was
Dale.
it actually day one?
Day one, match one.
But
It
day
was
one
the
match-
opening match.
Wow. Okay. So what happened was LaFell made you. I mean, prepared you before the actual day. That's at 11 p.m. You were just
Yes, we were
doing your
going
power.
through it.
You're going through it. So he probably explained like what the potential storylines will be and what to expect.
Because
from
we
the-
for MPLMY we have briefings, we have the boot
For
camp.
sure.
So the storyline isn't that hard, and I watch MPL, so I roughly
Oh, you did.
know.
You
Yeah,
did
yes,
actually
yes.
watch
I
MPL.
roughly know what's happening, who this team is, who Homeboys is, why they're So to me that was fine. That wasn't the problem.
Okay.
The problem was really just how I would present myself on stage.
Okay.
And then LaFell was mostly going through the voice projection part because he's like, you sound soft, push it. He's like, push it. You need to make sure that the arena knows your voice.
Yeah.
He was going through that with me until like 11 p.m. He wouldn't
That was so
leave.
nice. That was so nice of LaFell
Yes.
to do it though.
But LaFell's very passionate about MPLMY.
Yeah.
That's his baby right there.
That's right. Yeah.
Yes.
That's why LaFell is so underrated. I mean, in probably in the Philippines, they probably did not know much about LaFell, but you only know him as a guy who makes these jokes,
Yes.
funny remarks. But off cam, I would say that most of the international casters, like when you see Leo Naisur and Mar, and now Briggs, so they're the representatives from the Philippines. The English broadcast matters to them so much. So is their local league, and I can say that it's easy to integrate that kind of mentality because LaFell and Gideon were also like that. And Mirko eventually got into that zone. I mean, when he started, he was very young, so he probably did not think about the broadcast that much. But I heard from Eterna that after M3, he was a changed man. So it's like those people that eventually helped you out, they were great.
Yes.
So, yeah, LaFell. Thanks for that.
Yes.
W LaFell. But of course, you had to exert more effort. Now, let's get into that viral day. Fortunately, MPL Season 11, there were a lot of media coverage already. TikTok was a thing already back in Season 11. Instagram was also popping off. And of course, everybody was just tuning into MPL. It looked to be such a normal day. Homeboys is playing.
Yes.
Coach Dale is coaching. They won
Yes.
2-0 something
Against
like that.
Hito.
Against Hito, which is
Yes.
Team Hack. All right,
Yes.
Team Hack, which is in itself is funny.
Yes.
And then Coach Dale was there, get interviewed. did not brief him that he would speak in Tagalog, right?
Okay, I think one thing we should put out there was a lot of people were like saying it could be scripted, but actually it's not. Nobody, no players
Yeah.
knew that I could speak Tagalog.
And I would say that as you were advertised, you were Malaysian, like Malaysian host.
Yes. So people know me because most of the people know me as a streamer.
Yeah.
I rarely speak Tagalog on stream and they just think I'm Chinese.
Okay.
I look Chinese.
fair.
Yeah. So remember the boot camp I mentioned earlier? We had a coach sharing session where they invited a few coach, like Coach Pabs. I remember he was there, Coach Kuja, and Dale was one of them. I was instructed to not help him in Tagalog. I was instructed to shut up and just speak English.
Okay.
So I think they wanted it to be a really like surprising factor. And I felt kind of bad for Coach Dale at that point of time
Because he was
because
struggling probably.
the coaches were sharing in Malay. And he kept on asking them to stop to translate in English. And I wanted to help him, but I'm like, okay, shut up.
yeah.
You're told to shut up.
So Dale did not know. Even
Nobody knew.
Nobody knew.
Yes.
And even in that interview, like obviously right after the game, you don't have much time to brief the players.
Yes, we really don't.
Yeah, we really don't. And then look up that clip. I remember I was working for One Esports,
Yes.
and that was the most viral thing that we got during that year, 2033.
Yes,
That was
I
the
think,
most successful
yeah,
one.
because I remember they tagged me at the end of the year and they were like,
Yeah.
most viral clip of the year
Most
from
viral
One
clip.
Esports.
That's right. That's actually true. So, and it was viral for everyone, and people in the Philippines were so amazed, especially because Coach Dale said like, "Nagtatagalog ka
Mas
pala."
nagulat pa ako sa Tagalog.
Yeah,
or
yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he was more shocked because Rose spoke in Tagalog, and that made the interview even more interesting because now
Yes.
Dale will just speak in Tagalog and
Yes.
it's gonna be fun. You
So
just
it was
translate
actually like the plan of the, I guess it's for the plot as well and everything.
Okay.
The plan was, we're gonna use it as a tool for match one because I have to give a banger opening. It's my
course.
day, it's my first day. So they were
How
like,
smart by MPL Malaysia, by the way.
first match, coincidentally, is Homeboys and Team Hawk.
Which had
And when
Filipinos.
when a Homeboys is playing, the traffic is really high. But the good thing is, it doesn't matter who wins. I will get to use a weapon
Yeah, because
both sides has a Filipino.
yeah, that's Hito. And
There's Hito and there's Coach Dale.
But I think that the whole boys were supposed to win it. Like they're the team that most people would feel
Because
like
usually at that point of time, they would usually do really good in the regular season, but then flock out of the playoffs.
Okay,
They're like
alright.
Bigatron. They give off Bigatron vibes at that period of time.
Homeboys is the BTR of Malaysia.
Back then.
Back then.
Shout
Shout out Spirko. Eventually that caught up, and did you even receive like bad comments about your hosting? Because they said that you kept on telling me that everybody said you should not check, but I kind of feel like there's a but to that where you eventually opened up comment
Okay.
section. You couldn't help it.
Okay, so this is where it began.
Okay.
After match one interview, I still didn't touch my phone at all because
Okay.
I listened. I didn't want to check. I didn't want to upset myself in the middle of the day.
Of course, as you should.
I'm hosting on stage, right?
As you should.
My friend, the Singaporean guy,
Mm-hmm.
he started spamming me on WhatsApp. Hey, you're going viral. And I'm like, oh no, what did I do? I'm
Yeah.
like,
And this is like match 2.
yes, I think it
Okay.
was match 2 or match 3. Because at that point of time, the video was having hundreds and thousands of views already. And I was freaking out. I'm like, no.
Oh, no.
I was like teary-eyed.
Of course.
And I was like, please, not now. Let me finish my day first. So I
Yeah.
can cry at home. He's like, no, I swear, click this video. And it was one of the clippers. He's like, trust me, click it, look at the comments. I clicked on it, I looked at the comments, and I'm like, holy
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah. That was great. What a story. What a story. That's a rare occurrence for sure. And I'm sure that you prepared for that. You did not directly prepare for that, but everything that you did before that prepared you for that. That's always what I feel about these great moments. So I'm sure that you studying Malay, studying Filipino, liking Mobile Legends. When you said that you didn't have prior experience hosting, you just had help from Lafel. I think that's a great story, and
Yeah.
that's like lightning in a bottle. That might not happen again because I feel like it's so difficult to break through whatever most of the hosts were able to already set up for
Yeah.
the standard. You're looking at Clara from Indonesia,
Yes.
yourself from Malaysia. Obviously, Mara when Mara did that, and everybody, Hans right now and Odin, they're doing great. So it's difficult to like break in, especially because most of the people are so critical now. Back in
Yes.
the early days of shoutcasting, they weren't that critical about what you're doing. Like even you can even like show up with your hair looking real
Yeah.
bad. But now you know that even with podcasts, they're so critical. Like why is your hair like that, Wolf?
Yeah.
Why are your videos so grainy? I mean, like I don't know how to fix that. I never thought it would matter, but people are so critical
Yeah,
now,
they
right?
are.
Do you feel pressured right now when you've done a lot of stuff already? Every single season, you try to be viral. You're not trying to be viral, but I mean, you're like trying to do your job. You get viral sometimes, and I'm sure that trilingual queen eventually will. How do I say this? Will not be a selling point anymore. It's
Yes.
like almost a necessity, right? It will come to a point where like the magic should be different from you.
Yeah.
So do you feel pressured like trying to innovate season after season or international tournament after international tournament?
I think to me, after the trilingual thing, I didn't really. To me, it really didn't matter because the trilingual queen thing, I didn't even know who named me that. I don't know if it was from the media. I don't know if it was Moonton. I don't know if it was our EO. I really
Yeah.
don't know where that name come from or where it came from. It just blew up. So to me, it's not really that big of a deal. To me, I felt like what I really try to work on is my craft because, like I mentioned, MPL was my first hosting experience. So aside from me going viral, there was definitely lots of things to improve on. And I do feel like I am improving every season. Every time I get on the stage, there's stuff I work on and all that kind of stuff. And maybe we could add another language into the resume. Who knows?
Turkish. Let's go.
Turkish. No, like, but for
German.
reals though, because as a kid, I've always been very upset. And until now, sometimes I bring it up to my dad. I'm kind of like, why didn't you teach me Mandarin growing up? If you did, can you imagine the power I would have?
Yeah. You are invincible.
Can you imagine the power I would have if I
Yeah.
knew Mandarin?
It would be fun to like eavesdrop. When
I
Moonton
can
people-
eavesdrop on Mandarin now because my Mandarin I can understand, but I cannot talk because in Mandarin,
I see.
the same word with different strokes could sound completely different, and it would make the meaning completely different as well.
I would like to learn Mandarin as well. I think it would be cool. I think it will help me in my career.
Yeah, definitely.
It's daunting. It's difficult.
It's the most difficult language in the
Is
world.
it? Is it more
is.
difficult than the Arabic language? Because I find that also daunting as well.
I think it's difficult because there's just so much more strokes in the Chinese dictionary.
Okay. Oh man.
Yeah, for A, there's 5 different pronunciations for A's. Like because of the different strokes.
Yeah.
And the different stroke dictates your tonation.
Yeah.
And different tonation will end up having different meanings.
Yeah. Kind of felt like Mandarin is so difficult, whereas Bahasa Indo is easier. I would say even easier than Tagalog. I always say that it's like the grammar is easy to understand as well.
Yes.
It's like you just rearrange the
Yes.
words.
And word sounds like words.
Words sounds like words actually. They also have the alphabet, which also helped a
Yes.
lot. Big W to Indo. You're great. Their country is great, by the way.
Big W.
I think we're just big contenders when it comes to the traffic jam. I mean, the Philippines.
I have a tier list of traffic lists, by the way.
Okay, let's see it. Let's hear it.
I've been to a few countries growing
Let's
up.
hear it.
Okay. So
I want to hear this.
to me, best traffic, hands down, Singapore.
Okay.
Undeniably.
Okay.
Second,
Fair.
I would put Hong Kong. Hong Kong isn't that bad. Roads are a tad bit narrow, but the traffic is doable.
At least flow in.
Yeah, it's flowing. And then I would put where else have I been? Okay, Saudi. Saudi's not bad. Saudi Arabia is not bad.
You'd be surprised that there could be traffic, but yeah.
There could be traffics, but the traffics are like still
Moving.
doable. It's still moving.
Still moving, which matters.
Because it's a straight road.
That's right. I think what made the traffic at least bad was that everything is just far away from each other.
Yes,
That's what
exactly.
I feel like. Yeah.
But it's a straight road.
Yeah, at least.
Wide roads.
Yep.
It moves.
Yep.
And then there is Malaysia, Malaysia, KL.
Mm-hmm.
The Malaysia, and then Jakarta is on the same level as Bangkok. And then there's Philippines.
No way.
God damn, Philippines traffic is bad, guys.
Okay. I wouldn't disagree. I think traffic in the Philippines is crazy, especially after the pandemic when I don't know what happened, why we regressed after the pandemic, but I really felt that way. And as a commuter and a driver as well, because I've experienced both and I am experiencing both, I would feel like it's like traveling from one town to another is almost like a job, like a chore. Like you would actually plan around it. I can't imagine I can't imagine working a 5 to 8 job in the Philippines because of the
Yeah.
traffic. It's just
I agree.
yeah. So all of those employees who do 5 to 8 and they go on site, whatever that's called. I think they're called RTO. Big doubles to you. You're
Yes.
great.
Respects.
Respect. However, after being in Jakarta for quite a significant time,
Mm-hmm.
I think I would agree with my friend. I don't know if I can mention his name, but he practically is driving here now
Okay.
for 2 years. I agree with him. I think Jakarta is the traffic jam is slightly worse than the
Really?
Philippines. But I'm saying like it's like comparing 91 and 91% to 90%. And he said that. I think it's because more motorcycles are here. It's always so difficult. And he's thinking about it as a driver's perspective when you're driving. When you're in the car, obviously you wouldn't experience it. But it's like it's more annoying to drive here apparently. But again, Rose, we're comparing bad and bad. It's like
Yes.
what's worse between like two bad things. So it's like they're both bad. Imagine like I can't imagine whatever happened with was you guys or was it Naiso and Lafel back a few days ago where there was traffic when they went here, and I went to the venue. It's like near. It's like what 10 minutes away from here. If you think about it.
It was Lafel and Naisu coming back
Yeah,
from
something
the
like that.
venue.
Because the shuttles were the opening ceremony.
Oh,
You
okay.
were-
I wasn't here yet.
you weren't here yet, but they arrived even after leaving at the right time to leave. For you to be able to get to the call time, they were still late for an hour. And they almost missed everything. But that's also common in the Philippines.
Yeah, because remember after MPL, we were hanging out in KL, and then I
Yeah.
told you I was going to head back to the Philippines, right? So my house is near Mall of Asia.
Oh my god.
Okay, my house was near Mall of Asia, and
Yeah.
my mom was like, "Anak, go see my kamag-anak," and they're from Malabon.
Oh my god. That's so far.
Okay, Wolf,
That's so
continue
far.
listening to this. It took us 2 hours to get there,
Mm-hmm.
and when I looked, apparently it's just like what 15 kilometers. 2 hours, Wolf, and I felt like I was gonna get crushed by trailers multiple freaking times.
Yeah. QC to all right, there's a skyway. The trip that I go to in order to get to the airport is through a skyway in Quezon City. There's a meme where QC to QC is an hour. Makati to Makati is an hour or something like that.
so
It's pretty bad.
bad.
It's so bad
It's
actually.
so bad. And me and JJ in the car were just like, what the heck is this traffic? I
Yeah.
didn't expect it to be that bad. And then the day
I don't know
after
why
that,
it's getting worse.
yes, the day after that, 10 p.m., 11 p.m., Joms from Onyx,
Oh yeah.
we were gonna meet up. He's like, "Mom, come over." I'm like, "Okay, fine." Drop the location. So they're like, "What, Las Piñas?" That's where the boot camp is at, right?
Yeah.
So I booked the Grab. It showed 9 kilometer. I'm like, cool, 9
Yeah, that's
kilometer.
right,
Because
that's
in
good.
MY, 9 kilometers is like what, 10, 15 minutes.
That's right. As it should.
It took me 45 minutes. to get
45
there.
minutes.
At 11
You're
p.m.
from MOA. You're from Mall of
Yeah.
Asia. Well, that's 100% super near.
Yeah.
You should be there by 15, 30 minutes
It
at
took us
most.
45 minutes at 11 p.m.
11 p.m.
I'm like, where are the cars coming
By the way,
from?
that's also the Christmas season, right? So, whatever.
Not
but
really. It was like November.
oh,
November 22. It was that that week.
man, I love Philippines, but the traffic is like
Yeah, I love Filipino food, but
insufferable.
the traffic. Whew.
Oh my god! Imagine having to allocate 3 hours of your day just to get to MPL, and then spend 12 hours in the MPL. You're just tired. Sometimes it's even like worth spending extra money just for your sanity. It's like
Yeah.
it's practically buying time.
Yeah,
That's how it is
because
in the Philippines.
I'm pretty sure it's cheaper than the petrol because you get stuck in traffic for
Yeah.
ungodly amount of hours.
And at least you get to do something. You get to rest, which is
Better than being stuck
better
and
than being stuck.
fighting.
It's
Yeah.
priceless. Okay, now I wonder because you've been around. Obviously, you've gotten into most of the regions. I think you have not worked for we have not worked for MLBB in Singapore yet, right? Because you weren't able to
No.
get.
Singapore and KH.
Yeah, but you did stay in Singapore, so you
Yes.
have so much, so much credibility to talk about this. Because I really wonder what is the best region when it comes to food.
Yo, you're gonna get me canceled here, Wolf.
Is this actually?
Dude, it's like a very big argument.
I'm sure
The
it is.
triangle,
Yeah, Malaysia.
MYIDSG, that
Yeah.
is okay. I think the easiest
I call it the SIMP region, like Singapore, Indonesia, Malaysia, Philippines, SIMP.
MP.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
That's the
why. Okay, now,
Now you
it
get
makes
it.
sense. Okay.
No, and it used to be SIMP, and then we added
yeah,
N.
Okay, I
because of
understand.
NA.
Yes, okay.
Pretty much.
Now
All right.
that makes sense. Smart.
All
I
right.
didn't think about it that way.
Okay.
But best food. Now, I think if we're talking really, really cultural, traditional food, ID, hands down. Because
Being genuine to your roots, something like that.
yeah, being genuine to your roots. Because in Indonesia, when we come here, we can see that they're still very much intact with the culture, the food, and everything. In Malaysia, not that it's a bad thing, but a lot of the restaurants that are popping up are starting to go more fusion. I like. But what I don't like is that our local shops are closing down to cater to international cuisines.
That's so sad to
So,
hear.
like, I love me a good nasi lemak.
Like as traditional as it could get.
That's as traditional as it could get. But then a lot of the
Oh man,
like,
that's so sad to hear.
street food sellers kind of thing, they're slowly forgetting the traditional Malaysian cuisine and they're slowly transforming or like they're starting to sell whatever viral food you would see in China.
I get you. I get you.
Arabic food. You'd see so much more shawarma on the street than like actually local food if you go to Bukit Bintang. I think if you go to Bukit Bintang and you walk around, you see so many shawarma stalls. You see so many stalls that sells
So milk tea.
what's
boba.
that? The Arabic dessert, the sweet one
I
with
don't know.
cheese inside.
Paratha? No.
Kunafa.
Kunafa.
They
alright.
would sell those desserts, and like, if you ask me,
Yeah.
since it's a very big tourist spot, it's a very very big tourist spot.
Yeah.
I don't mind them selling kueh. Like kueh. You know what's kueh, right? Rice cakes.
Rice
Kakanin
cakes.
of Malaysia.
Okay.
I wouldn't mind them selling that. A lot of the generational shops are also closing down in Malaysia.
It's sad to hear.
Yeah, it's very sad to hear, but I think it also has to do with the fact that the locals are not really supporting it as much. Yeah, in Singapore,
Because
on the
they
other-
had to adapt.
not adapt, but I don't know. They just really don't support it. They're like, okay, obviously things are increasing in price. And like sometimes they're like,
Yeah.
why buy this when I could eat this for
Yeah.
the same amount of money?
That's crazy.
Yeah. Malaysian food is amazing. Don't get me wrong.
I agree.
I love
would
Malaysian
feel-
food. Yeah,
would
I get
feel-
you. I got you so many Malaysian food when we were in Malaysia.
I enjoyed my time.
Yeah, food is good.
Yeah.
And then in Singapore, I think Singapore is currently on the right track of modernization. They have the perfect mix of what locals would still enjoy. And some of the food, Chinese, okay, I can't speak for the Malays, but some of the food that is probably dying in Malaysia is still kind of thriving in Singapore hawker centers.
Like your chicken rice.
No, chicken rice is quite common in Malaysia still,
Oh,
but like
okay.
we're talking about dishes that are intricate to make or
Wait,
like
yeah.
I'm talking about like pork organ soup, those kind of things that would take
Ooh,
hours
okay,
to cook.
okay. Yeah,
In
yeah,
Malaysia,
yeah.
it's a dying culture, but in Singapore, I think at least every hawker center or coffee shop would sell it.
Yeah, because the Singaporeans would flock the more authentic ones.
Yeah,
Well, what I also noticed, I would say for Singapore when I stayed there, there's it's almost like you will never be disappointed by the food because you can only be disappointed if you don't like that food at start. Like if you don't like laksa, if you don't like spicy food, you probably will get disappointed. But if you understand that, if you're open to it, mostly you're gonna like it. But it's like just expensive. That's all the only problem. I mean, as a Filipino, but at the same time, it's like it's almost too safe. If you think about it. Yeah.
I think actually in Singapore, there's definitely bad food.
Mm-hmm.
Just like all regions, it
Of
really
course, I
depends
mean,
on where you go.
yeah,
It really
I get-
depends if you get a bad
yeah.
cook, or a
Of
person
course,
who
of
thinks
course, of course.
she can cook, but actually
Yeah.
they suck at it.
Of course.
Like I went with my friends to Newton Food Court. It's
Mm-hmm.
super famous one.
Yeah, I've
Super
been there,
duper
yeah.
famous Newton. And then we ordered like chicken wings that took 45 minutes to arrive, and it got there and
Oh,
it tasted
man.
pretty crappy and it was raw. So there you go.
Yeah, well, yeah, of course that.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like chicken wings in Malaysia are so good.
Yeah.
It's
Chicken
like a
wings.
I would say so. So you're thinking. So your answer is Indonesia just because of the authenticity of it, or something like that, or like how it is.
It
how
really
it-
depends on what we're going for. Like best in terms of what?
I don't know, like the best for you, in general. Like,
Because for me, Malaysia has everything. Singapore also has
yeah.
everything.
pretty
Because
much.
Singapore and Malaysia, we really share a lot of the same thing.
Yeah, I remember, and this was back in M1, and I'm obviously with Malaysians, and it's so super wrong to ask them, but they kind of course, what they said was, because I asked them like, so what's better, like Malaysian or Singaporean food? Because I was, because some of them were talking about like how they also liked Singapore, and I'm talking about like laksa and all that stuff. So they said like, yeah, you know what? The best Singaporean food is takeout food from Malaysia. That's what they said.
Yeah, it's an ongoing joke, guys.
It's an ongoing joke.
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
I'd still prefer Malaysian food because I cannot eat a lot of the Indo food because of the spice.
Oh, you're not into
I
spicy.
have really bad gastric.
Oh,
so it really, really gets triggered. So I'd say Malaysian food for that because
Yeah.
we get a variety still. We have the Chinese, the Indians, and the Malays, but nothing too spicy.
Yeah.
Nothing
okay.
that kills my stomach.
Filipino food. You don't like Filipino
I
food?
love Filipino food. I
Right.
cook Filipino food every day at home.
Yeah. It's just that I would say that there's more chances of you being disappointed with Filipino food when you just buy it from everywhere else. I think it's like that. So the way I see it is like the hit miss ratio in the Philippines is more hit than miss. But there are so many good Filipino. It's like when you go to a restaurant, you might be disappointed in the Philippines. But of course, if your mom cooks it, right? That's
Thank
always.
God I have very little Philippine experience.
Yeah, I don't know why, man, but I don't know if I'm just biased towards my mom and our household,
course.
but I don't need to. I don't need to spend anything because they're just gonna cook better,
Yeah,
no matter
it's
what
just
happens.
So much better.
So much better. Like I don't know. You've had tinola
Of course, I
Um,
cook tinola.
you like it?
Yeah, I love tinola. When you're
because
feeling
there was a trend like maybe years ago when they were going like Facebook and they're trying to be smart and they tried to say like real talk tinola is actually bad or something like that. Real talk tinola, if you like tinola, you're like weird or something.
I cook tinola even for JJ's mom, who's pure Chinese.
Yeah.
She likes it.
I'm just saying like those people who don't like tinola, it means their mother does not
Know how to
well.
cook tinola.
Exactly.
Period.
Or your household does not know how to cook tinola.
Yeah.
Because it's
so
so good.
simple. It's so homey. What's so bad about it? How can chicken soup be bad? Every region has their own type of chicken
You're
soup.
right. What's a bad? Well, I can't think of any.
Yeah, exactly.
But most specifically tinola. Tinola is great because you can eat a lot of rice with it.
Yeah, but if you ask me, I prefer sinigang.
Of course, sinigang. Okay, so you like the sinigang baboy or
Hipon.
Oh,
Hipon
good.
and like super duper asim.
yeah, for sure,
Best
for sure.
thing ever.
Yeah. Okay, so for all of you out there, which kind of cuisine do you like? Do you like Indonesian, Malaysian, Indonesian, or Filipino food? Of course, Filipino food is still top tier, but I would feel like if you were just a tourist and you have to spend money, I think you're more likely to get bad food in the Philippines compared to when you spend it in Malaysia, for example, or in Singapore. Indonesia, I think I really like Indonesian food.
I like the food here, but I'm really, really wary about the spices.
Of course.
So I really cannot do too many of their food. Like example,
But you can take the spice. You just had so
I
much.
also I also got used to not taking the spice. So
So your tolerance is pretty bad. Oh man.
it is.
I wonder why. I wonder why you Malaysians and most Indonesians and most Singaporeans don't have like acid reflux.
I do. I do have acid reflux.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's the Filipino in you that.
It's the Filipino in me. But honestly, my acid reflux, I think it has to do with the fact that when I started hosting, I really didn't eat during the day. I felt like I was just so busy.
That happens.
I
That
think it's
happens.
the adrenaline, especially
happens.
since I'm new. So the entire season I didn't eat. I would fall sick again and again and again and again.
Yeah.
And then JJ started coming into the picture and he's just like, you need to eat. So he just watched me eat like every
Yeah.
time. He makes sure that he carries my food and everything.
All
But
right.
unfortunately, too late. Damage has been done.
Yeah, it's irreversible apparently.
Yeah. So sad.
So sad. Anyways, we talked about food. We talked about your origins, and you're doing so well in MPL Malaysia. Now you're in M7.
Thank you.
M7. How's it going? Like, what are your
6-7.
expectations? 6 M7.
Yeah, I did both.
M7.
6, 7.
All right. SRG is trending right now.
Oh,
They have been successful ever since ever since they built that main 5. Got MSC, third place M6, second place
MSC
MSC 2025. Now they're the hottest team. Everybody's scared of them. Even Filipinos are saying in the comment section that, oh yeah, the Philippines the rain might be over because now SRG is in town. Don't underestimate SRG. And I would say that I think it's so good to really recognize what SRG has been doing, especially because if you knew their players, they're so nice. They're like the kindest players you'll ever get to meet. Yums is amazing.
Yes. He loves to bully me though.
Yeah. Stormy is amazing. Apparently Sekai's is it's also Nori can be, but
Yes.
maybe if you're close
Yeah,
with
yeah.
him.
He's very friendly. Like, I'm very. I'd like to think that I got quite close to them. Now, a lot of people have always said like, "Oh my God, she's so biased. She's only close to the good team," but it's because I don't like to necessarily force a conversation on a
course.
team when they're not on a winning momentum
Of
because
course.
the mood is very different. You know, when
course.
you come to the venue, they're locked in. They don't want to talk to anybody.
Yeah.
And especially if they lose, you can't expect me to go up to them and be like, yo, what's up, man?
Yeah.
Unless you guys are like really, really close, right? But as time goes by, I got closer to a lot of the players in Malaysia. For SRG, the boys, all of them have their own different personalities. Yums, very naughty. Always gives me a hard time on stage. I think everybody knows that. There was also a viral clip in the
Yeah.
M6 where I was hitting him on stage
Yeah.
off cam. Stormy is another one. I got quite close to him and his family because his mom would always give us like stuff, bring us food and everything to the venue. And they gave me a cat.
I did not know about this.
Yeah. So my youngest baby at
So-
home, Lucille, he's a golden British short hair, came from Stormy's cat's litter.
Wow.
Yeah, he had a cat. He had cats. And then,
What a cool gift to give.
yeah, his mom was like, okay, too many cats going on. What do we do with them? And then he's like, okay, let's give him away. And I'm like, he told his mom that I like cats. And they were like, okay,
Yeah.
offer one to Rose. And then Stormy tried to make money. Stormy tried to make money off of me. Stormy, I still remember that. So
Nice try.
he told
Stormy.
me, cat's ready for pickup. And I'm like, okay. And he's like, pay me.
Oh
Like,
my
excuse me?
God.
He's like, yeah, 1,000 ringgit is fine. I'm like,
That's expensive. Like 1,000 ringgit is like
14,500
Oh my
pesos.
God.
But it's a golden British short hair. And I'm like, Stormy, if you're going to charge me for the cat, I'm not taking
yeah.
it because I don't buy cats. I
Yeah.
adopt.
yeah.
He's like, yeah, fine. Mama said you can come pick up on Sunday.
Nice try, Stormy.
He tried.
Yeah, but they're super nice and they work hard. You know,
Yes.
they're trying their best. Cram obviously can easily be someone that you hate because of his antics, but he's just like that.
He
Just
pisses me off a lot. He likes to
to piss people.
I think all of them likes to disturb me in their own way.
Yeah,
The only one who doesn't disturb me is Coach Ark. Literally. Like Cram, he pisses me off by always lying to me.
Yeah.
He's gonna go all like, Rose, kain tayo. And I'm like, okay, when? He's like, off day. I wake up. And I'm like, okay, where are we going? Doesn't reply, whole day. At night, sorry, nakalimutan ko. And I'm like, I hate you. And then innocent, every time he sees me, oh my
Oh my
God,
God, that guy.
boss, paldo ka talaga. That's how JJ knows the word
Yeah,
paldo.
I see.
Yeah, he always goes up to me.
What's the proper English term for that? When you're
It's like
always
you're
like,
a rich kid.
no. I mean, like whatever Innocent is doing, because he's like that with Ben Things.
Yeah.
He's like that with Coach Ark,
Yes. Yeah, Coach Ark especially. He
and
does
most
it a lot. Coach Ark.
specifically, like when you're always like you're always like teasing someone.
Yeah, he's always teasing.
I'm sure there's an English word for that. Help us out, whoever is there in the comment section. But yeah, that Innocent is always like that, like paldo ka.
Yeah. He's always gassing people up.
Yeah,
Yes, he's always gassing people up.
but he's the funniest. I think when it comes to interviews, you would think that he's like shy and everything because he's a
Yes.
gold laner, but he's not. I mean, I don't know why, but he's just, when some people are just naturally funny,
Yes.
and then when they can like project easily on camera. I think
Yes.
Innocent was that. And then I look back at some of their old TNC videos when they're doing TikToks. He's so hilarious.
Yes, he is. He kind of changed after he started dating Chacha. And like, what they call this in MPLMY, whenever... Guys, honestly, I'm so tired of seeing their faces in MPLMY because they've been winning for like 4
Yeah.
seasons. So you can imagine I'm out of questions.
Yeah.
So like every time we're on stage together and I'm forced to do an interview because it's still a winner's interview, they'll just be like, don't ask me, ask him. Don't ask
Yeah,
me,
yeah,
ask
they're
him.
just like-
Sige na. And then after that, they're going to be like, oh, I have a sore throat. And I'm like, answer the question. And then sometimes Innocent would be like, mahirap ba yan? Kung mahirap ayoko, huwag mo sa akin itanong. Just like, can you all behave? The camera's coming.
Yeah, he's really, Innocent is like really naughty, for lack of a better term,
Yes.
but in a funny way.
Yes.
But he is the most impressive player so far right now in M7. Everybody's like talking about
Yeah,
him.
definitely.
Even so I'm only ever able to talk to my co-talents. Some of the coaches as well, Coach RC, most of them, even the players, the Filipino players, I mean, most of them say, yeah, Innocent is the most balagbag or most I don't know, strong, best performance
Powerful.
of a powerful whatever. He's performed the best, like amongst all the players individually and as a team as well. Then he also showed us this Sora gameplay, which is
Nuts.
crazy. It was nuts. Innocent is set to be the best player in M7 if he continues this kind of momentum. So it's crazy. So good on you, Innocent. Now my question for you is that how's Malaysia accepting SRG now? Are they more of a Malaysian team or are they more of a team with Filipino imports? Are they like what's the general outlook of the typical Malaysian supporter towards this team?
I think honestly, the Malaysians, most of them, I cannot speak for everybody, but most of them are actually quite appreciative of the boys. They really love this lineup. They don't really say like, oh, they're Filipinos
Yeah.
and everything. They really think of them as a whole. And
That's great.
they're very happy that the boys are starting to learn Malay. Like Cram especially. Cram has been picking up Malay.
Oh my God, they're so fluent.
Cram
By
has
the
been
way,
picking up Malay.
sorry, have you seen Net's stream?
Yes.
Net is so fluent in Malay.
Dude.
Love him.
So everybody in this video, you guys can show Wolf the clip, I'm guessing, that happened in MPL MY season 14. I could be wrong on the date, but there's just
Yeah.
one viral clip with Nets on stage. And essentially it's like this. We're just going off topic a little bit, but
Yeah.
it's essentially like this. We were going to have a break before we enter playoffs. I think it was a 2 weeks break. And then I asked Nets in Malay because he doesn't understand me on stage when I speak Tagalog for some reason. So it has to be in Malay. It's weird. We have very weird dynamics in MPLMY.
It's weird.
So I was asking him, I'm like, in Malay, Nets, how are you going to spend your off days? And then he told me he's just going to go and rest and like play with the boys. And I'm like, what about girlfriend? Don't you miss your girlfriend? And he replied that the girlfriend bongo, which translates to like, I don't have a girlfriend, idiot. Something like that.
On stage.
And then he realized what he said because his teammates held him back.
Yeah.
And he was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. And he's like, sorry.
Oh.
And I'm just like, what the hell, Nets?
Uh.
Yeah, he's very fluent that the curses just comes out at the top of
Naturally.
his head.
And he sounds Malaysian now, right?
Yes,
Like,
his Malay is actually very, very
Alright.
good.
Anyways, yeah, Innocent. The Malaysians
Yes. The
appreciate that
Malaysians
they're...
love SRG. They appreciate Coach Ark. they love the boys.
Yeah.
They're hoping that the boys don't disband because I know there's
Yeah.
rumors going on around
There
or
is.
news circulating that our SRG is disbanding. I'm not even sure,
Mm-hmm.
but I hope not because they have brought I would say a fresh perspective
Yeah.
to the MLBB MY community. Previously, before we started winning, everybody was like getting bored of it because to them it's like it doesn't matter who we send, we go home early. Or, we're only jago kampong, which means we're only good locally. Jago kampong is like a term, like kampong is like parang a village. So like we're
Okay.
only good in the village kind of thing.
Okay.
And then when SRG won, it kind of
MSC.
reignited a spark
Yeah.
into the community. Not just the fans, but the players in the league as well. Because it showed them like, oh, we actually can win too if we try hard enough.
Yeah.
Ever since then, I saw a shift. People wanted to improve. People didn't give up. They brushed up their PR. They really did a lot. The teams.
You mean like the other teams apart
Yes,
from SRG?
yes. They brushed up their PR. Now, I think when you were in MPLMY, you could see that we didn't really have any issues with the interviews. The players would actually open up, talk.
You're right.
And then a lot of the teams started investing as well, like started investing in better ecosystems,
Yeah.
better gaming house, better facilities, better management and everything. Of course, there are some orgs. I will not name who. You guys have seen the news circulating that salary issues. I think that doesn't reflect the rest of MPLMY, definitely. That doesn't reflect the rest of the ecosystem. But some of the teams I know have definitely stepped up for the love of the game. And of course, because the spark has been reignited.
Yeah. So would you say that this franchise league it's already announced?
They
Right?
call it a partnership league, a partnership a model.
All right,
It's already
but
been announced.
it's announced. All right. So
Yes.
for simplicity purposes, let's call it the franchise league, which kind of means that it's gonna be almost the same with Philippines and as well as Indonesia.
In a sense.
In a sense. And there were rumors of like organizations like RQ whatsoever. SRG, I don't know if they're gonna stay, but generally speaking, are we happy that there is going to be a Malaysian league? Because I think that only Malaysians and only the people from Malaysia who's working in MPLMY has the right to say whether this is good or bad. Like, so yeah, within your peers, within everyone, even the maybe whatever the crowd thinks, do we like that we are going to this direction for MPL?
JJ has
Malaysia.
a team, so I think it's a good thing, but at the same time, it could be disruptive.
Disruptive.
I think it could be disruptive in a sense if we kill off the people who actually nurtured the league to its maturity now. Because like we've mentioned, we are entering franchise and a lot of the international orgs are coming in and we don't know how many of them got a slot. We don't know how many local teams retains their slot up until this moment, okay guys? So I think that the international orgs coming in could be a double-edged sword, obviously, because they have no digital footprint and digital backing in
Okay.
Malaysia. So
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
kind of almost the same as when you look at the Philippines and the only surviving local franchise we have is like AP Brain and TNC.
Yeah.
And we're slowly getting absorbed by international orgs.
Yeah.
And when it comes to success, like the international orgs mostly comprise of the successful ones. So maybe that is one thing that could be bad for Malaysia, especially because when you look at Homeboys back then and Todak, now CG
Yes.
and SMG when during the
Yes.
height of SMG, people who support these clubs, they are crazy. Especially when I experienced the Homeboys experience back then. It's like,
Yes.
wow,
Very passionate.
they're so passionate, and most importantly, I think what separates the passion in the Philippines compared to Malaysia as well as Indonesia is the spending power as well. It's crazy because and I'm sure of this. I think there's a stat that was revealed to us before. People in Indonesia, even when we are almost as poor as Indonesia, the Philippines is almost as poor as Indonesia. Indonesian people and fans will spend more than
Yes.
the Philippines will
to
spend.
support their favorite
Support the
creators and
favorite.
teams.
And then you look at Malaysia, who was for 8 months a first world country. You're now quote unquote developing as a region.
It was well lived.
It was well lived. Happy for my Malaysian boys. That you were
got
yeah.
out of the third world country for a little while.
For a while, for 8 months.
We got a taste of what it's like to be a first
Exactly.
world country.
And it is natural for all of you guys to spend, but usually countries like that, they don't spend that much on niche hobbies.
You'd be surprised,
there's-
man.
That's why.
Surprised.
Like I learned so many stories like Homeboys merch selling out for
Oh yeah.
in an instant, even when it was
Yes.
expensive. If you think about
okay.
it.
For Malaysia, actually, one thing that kind of surprised me the most when I first came to Indonesia and bought their merch here is the difference in pricing. Jerseys in Malaysia could easily be over 1,200 pesos starting, or like
Yes.
1,005 starting.
Yes.
And it could, the Homeboys bomber jacket,
Yeah.
that's like green color. That super viral bomber
I
jacket.
really like
Dude,
that.
that's 600 ringgit.
Which is times 14. That's about 8K pesos, 9K, something like that.
Somewhere there.
Somewhere there. Yeah, I remember that. I remember asking about
That-
that. And the crazy part that it got sold out.
Yes, it would go sold out in like a few minutes.
A few minutes. That's
There was
Homeboys.
one time when they won their first ever MPL, Daddy Hood promised that he was going to do like a 1 ringgit jersey sale. 80,000 people were trying to fight for that.
Exactly. Look how crazy that is. And remember, this is the time when Malaysia is not
First world anymore.
no, I mean like not successful internationally when it comes to MLBB.
Yes.
But
Not
they're
yet.
still selling out everything. MLBB is not even the biggest esport in the country back then, right? Like it was
At that
probably
point,
like,
it already was.
but I mean like Dota is. I mean like
Dota is not that big in Malaysia.
not that big anymore.
Because at that time when Homeboys was actually rising and peaking in
Yeah.
terms of jersey sales, MLBB was already the biggest esports.
wasn't it like PUBG or Free Fire or something?
No. PUBG
Oh,
Mobile died somewhere around COVID.
Okay.
After COVID is just
Okay. So MLBB is
yes.
the strongest. Yeah, but yeah, my point being, even when the Philippines is like winning everything, and we have lots of viewers actually, people were not just spending as much as Malaysians
Yeah.
and Indonesians. Obviously, the Malaysians I could understand because they're a little bit rich compared to the Philippines. Indonesia, I don't understand why they are spending so much because they're almost as poor. But is that the case? Because I know that when it comes to like the poorest countries, like in
I think
Indonesia,
the easiest way to just put it is if you go to the malls.
that's also true.
Dude,
I agree.
went to
I agree.
Plaza Senayan yesterday and in
agree.
like a few kilometer radius there's like so many LVs stores.
It's crazy. But
If you have that much LV stores in one, like in a 5 kilometer radius, how crazy is your spending power?
yeah, maybe the problem that we have in the Philippines is that everything is expensive in the
Yeah.
Philippines. Like right from here to Grand Indonesia, the mall that we went, it's like 70 pesos for the Grab. If you
Yeah, it's
convert
so
it.
cheap.
The parking is less than 20 pesos. I'm not kidding, guys. The
Yes.
parking is less than 20 pesos. Delivery fees in Grab.
Oh,
if it's
I
not
love-
free, is less than 20 pesos.
If it's not free, it's like 2,000 rupiah, which
Which is-
in ringgit, that's like 50 cents.
like in the
which-
Philippines, it's
yeah.
like
5 pesos?
5 pesos.
Yeah. Where can you
Exactly.
get that, right?
Exactly. The food, the portions that you get for the price that
Very
you pay,
reasonable.
super reasonable. And you said it, Rose, when you went back to the Philippines, you can't imagine the prices anymore. It's like not worth it at all, right?
Yeah, like
Everything that you spend is not worth it. It's
when-
more expensive in the Philippines than in Malaysia.
Of
I
course.
cannot accept that. That
Of
should
course.
not happen. They're a third world country. We are not.
We're developing.
You are a developing country now.
I think another good example was when I first went back with my family. My mom hasn't went back to the Philippines in 10 years. We all go back together. And then we went to, because people are like, oh my God, you guys should go shop at SNR. It's
Yeah.
better. So we went to SNR and my mom is very particular with her bigas, with her rice. Understandably so, she eats nice rice here. And then she's on like her diet journey. So she's like, I'm only gonna eat basmati because basmati is good. And in
Yeah.
Malaysia, basmati is not that pricey. It's
Okay.
considered a pricier rice, but not that pricey.
Yeah.
We go to SNR. We go to the rice section. And I looked at the basmati rice
Yeah.
there. It's 1,200 peso for 2 or 3 kg.
Yep.
You want to know what's crazy? that is cheaper than that is more expensive than Singapore.
That's annoying.
Do you know how crazy that is?
That is so crazy.
For a country that produces rice
Yep.
to have more expensive rice selling at
So
the
annoying.
shelves and compare it to a country like Singapore who literally has no natural resources.
Yeah, that's why we could easily say that. Yeah, I wanna be in Malaysia. I wanna be.
Yeah.
If it weren't for MPL Philippines,
I think MPLMI has a slot. I think we have a slot on the English desk if you want,
oh
Wolf.
come on.
Come
But yeah,
on,
I
Wolf.
mean, it's so tempting just because of how difficult it is in the Philippines.
I understand.
Yeah.
I understand. I'm not saying Malaysia is perfect. There's definitely a lot of stuff too. Like it's not a very walkable country, but not like the Philippines is. It's not. Commute is actually not that bad. Obviously, public transport cannot beat how accessible Singapore is because everything is walkable and everything is connected. Malaysia is. I wouldn't say doing that great, but I wouldn't say it's doing that bad as well.
Not as bad as the Philippines,
Yeah.
unfortunately. Yeah, I hope that eventually things will be better in the Philippines because we are so good with Mobile Legends. But yeah, so Malaysia are generally okay with the franchise
Yeah.
league. All right,
They're okay with it, but I think it's because nobody knows what's happening. Like
yeah,
we even us as talents, we don't know internally
Okay.
who got the slot, who didn't get the slot. We're still waiting for it. I think it's gonna be good because of the salary issues that's currently ongoing. But then again, it doesn't mean big org no salary issues.
For
We've seen this countless of times in other esports titles
yep.
where esports org also don't pay out their players. So it really doesn't matter if the org is big or small.
Very well. Wow. Okay. Interesting conversations that we've had. I think that we've evolved the topic so much, and I know that we want to talk more, but it's getting late here in Jakarta. But we cannot end this podcast without the dream team. You know, in M7, there's a very interesting. But wait, before I get there,
okay.
do you already have your dream team? Like, you even think about your dream team?
Dream team in terms of skills?
Yes, in terms of skills.
Okay, no.
Never did.
No.
Because I want to do something different because this is interesting. And I think that
I saw the clip.
Oh, you did?
I saw
I
the clip. You posted it this evening, I think, when I was
yeah,
on the
right
way home.
literally before we get
I
this
saw
one.
it.
Oh, so you already know this.
Yeah.
So
I saw that
are
you
you
credit-
fine? Are you fine doing the
I
Dream
think- I-
Team face card
yeah.
version?
I love it.
All right. So I don't know if you're prepared about this, but yeah, Dream Team Rose's Dream Team face card edition. We're gonna totally skip the normal edition
That's
of
so
the
boring.
That's boring. We already know who's gonna be there, or you have your own. But this one, it's personal. All right, Dream Team face card edition. Rose. Have
Okay.
you thought about it? Have you thought about it?
Okay, so funny story. Back then, when we were planning our MPL team,
Mm-hmm.
like with JJ, I told him, like, I think this was 3 years ago or 2 years ago. We were having a conversation. We are like, what would happen if we were to build our own MPL team? And then I told him, what if we build a team based on face cards? Just so we might not win, but we can still sell merch to cover the expenses. Businesswoman mindset, guys.
Not a bad way to look at it.
Yeah.
A
not
good
bad
way to
right?
look at it, in fact.
Exactly, period.
All right. So you at least have some
But that
prospects
one
here.
had to suit the criteria of MPLMY, where there could be only 2 imports and 3 local. This one could be anything, right?
Yeah, actually. Yeah.
Which role do you want to start with?
All right, it's up to you. All right, let's start with up
Okay.
to you.
Let's start with the EXP
XP. All right.
at the top, so we can go this way. EXP, I think Dilar.
That's fair.
Dilar,
That's
Diablo's also handsome, but I feel like these two, they have like the look,
The face card that you
the
need.
face card.
Yeah.
I'll
Actually,
leave it to you guys
great
what type of
choice.
face card, but there's a face card. You'll understand as we go through it.
Dilar. I agree. Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Shout out to Dilar.
And then in the jungle, King Kong.
Interesting.
I'm not
The
saying
second
Kyrie is
time.
not handsome. I'm not saying that.
Yeah, I
Kyrie is
mean-
handsome. But I feel like King Kong, my JJ likes King Kong, so He has a King Kong
That's
jersey.
so cool that most of the people will generally say, yeah, it's Kyrie. It's an easy choice for most of the people. And now the two people that I've interviewed in this face card will have said it's King Kong. So there has to be something with King Kong in his face card.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Good choice, I would say.
Okay.
All right, so
Now
that's
we're
King
heading
Kong
to-
Dilar. Oh my God.
The mid lane. Mid lane. I'd give it to Rosa. Okay, guys, hear me out.
You are correct. Face card wise.
Yes. Hear me out. Okay, hear me out. Guys, Rosa is so freaking flawless. Whenever I'm on stage interviewing Rosa, I'm like, God damn, this person has no pores.
Actually,
like, actually,
Rosa's skin is so smooth.
it's so smooth.
Even in most importantly in person.
Yes. It's like on camera, you'd be like, okay, fine. It could be filtered. It could be
Yeah.
anything. But in person, I'm literally standing right beside to Rosa on stage and I'm like staring at the skin and I'm like, ooh, smooth as hell.
How do they do that? Is it
I don't know.
their country? Is
The
it called-
Turkish water.
the Turkish water? How can you be a pro player spending godly amounts of time playing Mobile Legends? So always stressed.
Yeah.
You probably eat not the healthiest.
Probably don't even sleep.
You don't sleep. You still get that kind of skin.
Right? It's crazy as hell.
Rose also plays so well. So actually, the three that he chose can also be part of a normal dream
Yes.
team. Especially Dilar on his prime. King Kong's always also his prime. Rosa is just amazing ever since
Yes.
M4. Great choice. I did not expect that. I did not expect Rosa. And
Rosa's really good looking. The
I,
face card is always serving.
I agree. Face card will not decline, as they say, as the
Yes.
kids say.
Exactly.
All right.
Okay, now gold lane.
Okay.
This was a part of my dream team with JJ.
Really? Okay.
Donut. He's like doing modeling
Yeah.
now. Last I saw on Facebook or something like that.
That guy can really pass up as an actor.
Yeah.
A model.
A lot of people don't mention him now, but I think if social media was as big as the time when he was actually playing, I think he would actually blow up.
I think it's because he immediately transitioned from the Philippines to a different country.
Yeah.
And then he was just locked in
Yes.
Cambodia. And
Yeah.
then I heard that he is having a great time in Cambodia. Like he's an actual commercial model,
Yes.
endorser.
At last I saw he proposed to his girlfriend, no, or now fiance.
I think they're
They're
probably
married now already?
They're
Oh,
probably
damn.
married. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Donut
it's-
is really handsome.
Yeah. And he's using his platform as well to also advocate for something. I really don't understand. I don't want to really talk about that because I don't know what is going on. But yeah, responsible guy, good looking, can play well. Great choice. I did not expect. Yeah, all right.
I
So
know
that's
my face
Rosa-
cards well.
You know it. You're prepared. So that's Donut, Rosa, Dilar, King Kong.
Yes.
Last guy is
Rome.
a roamer.
Now Romer is a little bit tougher,
Okay.
but I do have two in mind.
Mm-hmm.
We could go with either one. One would be Key from EVOS.
Good choice.
Or-
XBTR, by the way.
Oh, it's BTR now. Sorry, Marco. Sorry, Marco. Key, or we could even do Renegade. There's a pattern here, if you can see.
What is guys? What is Rose's type?
What is
Comment.
the pattern?
Does Rosa? Does Rose have a type? Comment in the section. Comment that in the chat. Whatever, wherever you are. Renegade over Key. All right.
Yeah, okay.
Of course,
I think it's Renegade. I'd give it to Renegade.
Of course, we're Filipinos. We gotta
Yes.
go with Renegade. But Key's not a bad choice
Yes.
at all. You know how immediately people will say Yaoi, and I'm surprised that we forget about like Renegade.
The reason why I particularly mentioned Renegade is because my best friend. There was I think it was, I forgot which tournament I was hosting, and then I posted a TikTok with Renegade, and she sent it to me, and she's like, "Oh, this guy's hot."
Yeah.
So that's why when you were thinking Roamers, he popped up in my brain because my best friend mentioned him.
Good choice. Renegade, and then I don't know if you've seen his story. So as of late, he's like just like jacked up in the gym.
Yeah, he's jacked up. I think,
Renegade, come back to MLBB. Come on.
come on.
Everybody's waiting. No,
Yeah.
just kidding. Yeah, so good choice. So that's Renegade.
Donut, Rosa,
Rosa,
King Kong,
King Kong,
Dilar.
and Dilar. All right. Great choice, I would
I think
say.
it's a pretty stacked lineup, guys.
I agree.
In
All
terms
right.
of face card and gameplay.
That's so good. Thank you so much, Rose, for being such a good player with this kind of game that we play. Is there anything that you want to also share? Like anything that they can look forward to? Do you have any planned content or projects that you want to promote?
This season this year actually, I'll be focusing on doing more vlogs, or so I try. I've been quite consistent lately in the M7. Okay.
I've been seeing you.
But yeah, I plan to vlog more, post more, because it's a way for me to connect with the players as well. I do have my milestones. I want to hit at least 1M on TikTok this year.
Let's do it.
Yeah, we're like 150 away, guys. 150K away.
Ah, wow.
I think it's
so-
very doable.
Let's do it. Rose, what do you call your fans? Rose fam.
People call themselves Rose Natics.
Rose Natics. All right, let's do it,
Yes.
Rose Natics.
Let's go.
All right. Yeah, anyone you want to shout out most especially before we go?
To, of course, everybody who's been supporting us on this journey. Thank you so much
Mm-hmm.
for always sending us the love and all the support every single day, especially when we're on broadcast. Thank you guys for watching Wolf's podcast.
Yeah.
I think guys, you guys have no idea how much effort he actually puts into these. So
you.
please appreciate him. His hotel room doesn't even look like a hotel room. It looks like a studio, guys.
Like a production.
It looks like a production hall. There's like cameras everywhere. There's
Yeah.
lights. He doesn't even have a lot of stuff for his clothes, a lot of
Actually.
room. His kettle is right beside his bed.
That's right.
So guys,
You have the lamp like behind you,
yeah,
on the floor.
The lamp everything is behind me. So guys, please make sure you guys always
Thank you.
give support to Wolf and his
Thank you.
cause. It's amazing.
Thank you. Now, before we end this, I have this something new that's ongoing with my podcast where the last guest will ask a question and then you will answer it.
Okay.
And then you'll get to ask the next
Okay.
whoever it will be. Now, unfortunately, because of some scheduling issues, I have to redo a question. And it was very simple, very, very simple. It was from Eterna. So
Okay.
Eterna's question is pretty simple. Her question is pasta or rice?
Pasta or rice? Rice. I'm Asian as hell, guys.
Yeah, simple. I don't even have to really ask more because
Yeah.
that's a.
We're Asian.
I would be surprised if you said pasta actually.
Yeah, now.
Yeah. All right, now it's your turn to ask the question.
My turn.
Yeah,
to
my
ask the
turn question for the next guest, whoever it will be. It will be
Okay.
totally random.
To whoever the next guest is, the question shall be. I need to think about this.
While she's thinking, we would like to invite you guys to watch the M7 World Championships. I think this must be the most competitive season. So, M-series so far. And I know that we always say that, but I think in comparison to M6, this will be hell of a lot different. And the top 8 teams really deserve to be top 8. That's what I'm saying. So, do you have your question now?
I have my question.
All right.
Okay, the question is, do you use your phone with a screen protector or no screen protector?
My God. What a question. I don't know why she asked that, but that's the question. We have to play by the rules. Thank you so much, Rose, for being such a great such a great guest in this podcast. We did learn a lot from you. I know we could keep on going, but that's it for tonight. Goodbye and good night.
Good night, everybody.